dream catchers. We're back, giving you another video. This time, I want to talk about my time, my vlog, SoVlogs, my time as a professional gamer. Where do I start? Well, I do want to give some origin of why I wanted to do this particular vlog at this time, because I was doing something. I don't know if it was like a, it wasn't a resume. I don't know what I was doing, but it was something like, what did you do after high school? And then you're seeing like, that is a really good question. What do you usually do? What have you done, or what do you usually do after high school? What did you do after high school? So in my case, this is when I became a professional gamer. Give some backstory to it and trying to frame it and kind of go through my trials and tribulations of it and just kind of what it's done for me in my life. So I'm gonna start off just as a little kid. For me, my era, Mario, Sonic, and everything along those lines. And it was more so just, I remember like we had this thing in school. I forgot what it was, with these books you read and you get like this certain level of points depending on the book you read. And it's like, it was like a competition. It's like elementary. And I used to always like try to get the highest points. For the most part, I always had the highest points. It's like AR reading. I really don't know what it was called. But so I would read those books to the point where I was finding some really dope authors that I was really into. You know what I mean? And then to the point where it was like, I didn't just want to read these fantasies anymore. This is when I really started getting into Goosebumps, you know? And as I always reference, I read basically every single Goosebumps book. And then it was this thing Goosebumps was doing where it was like, okay, this is like a choose your own storybook. So it's like if you want to go up the stairs or go down the stairs. If you want to go up the stairs, go to page 5. If you want to go down the stairs, go to page 12, you know? So when I did that, it kind of made me think of it kind of like in a video game sense. But long story short, you had to find something you were good at, something you like. I transitioned from always reading books to like really being into the video game world. When you read a book, it's like you're in your own space, your own, like you're in another world, so to speak. You know what I mean? And for video games, that was my out, to the point where, you know, I was starting getting into comics. Like my book reading just turned into so much more things within my life. So as a little kid, playing games and competing and just playing with others, honestly, was really just what I love to do. I love like, oh, let's play the game together. You know what I mean? Like I found a game I was good at, and then it's like someone plays the game also with me. It's like, yo, let's fight each other. You know, let's play like a sports game or whatever like that, or let's play a game where we're versus each other, or let's play a game where, you know, we're co-op. And back then, there wasn't really a lot of co-op games. But this brings me right into my introduction to Smash. Because not only was this a game where you could fight each other, most games back then, like you had the Street Fighter, your Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, things along those lines. When you're fighting someone, it's like a 1v1 fight. That was the first game for me. It was like 4 people at one time, and we all battling each other. You know what I mean? And when you're heavily on video games like I was back in the day, you're into literally everything that was in this game called Smash Brothers. So you got your Pokemon is in there, you got your Mario in there, you got your Zelda in there. These are all really big games for those times when they came out. So it was like, what the heck? We can just use some of our favorite characters and fight each other. And it's like, it starts to get fun. It starts to be like, it starts to become something that you really look forward to doing. Like, oh shoot, y'all want to go to your house? You got the Smash Brothers. Yo, he's so good. I can't beat your character. I always just Link, because Link is just like, growing up, Zelda was, not only did I play it for Game Boy, but then I also played it for, not Game Boy, I'm sorry, the regular Nintendo. Then I played it for Super Nintendo. And then I played it for N64. So it's just always like the Zelda games, because for the regular Nintendo back in the day, the Zelda game was like this gold game. Like all your other games regular, then just like this golden like cartridge. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I always just was attracted to that. And like I don't even remember if I even beat it back in the day, but I remember always like putting it in like, oh, where do I go next? And always just getting lost. Like something to really look forward to. And then it's like everybody, oh, my other friends is into it. So it'll be a thing like, oh, can I stay? Yo, Action Mom, can I stay tonight? Action Mom, can I stay tonight? And we would just literally go play Smash all freaking day. It became such a ritual, I want to say, something that you really started to look forward to. I think through the years, that's kind of how I became closer just to friends of mine. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's getting into different things, but that's one thing we could always just come together on and play Smash together. That was really the highlight of my childhood, to be honest with you. No matter what, like I said, you got going on or problems at home, whatever the case is, going together to play Smash was just like was everything. It was everything. And then so when my friends left, I had no one to play with anymore, basically. So that's when I found my very first Smash tournament. And you know what's crazy about this? I was going to McDonald's, literally just going to McDonald's, and then something was like McDonald's MGC Midnight Game Championship. I'm like, what is this? Smash has tournaments? Like I didn't even know it was like tournaments and things along those lines. You were fighting people, and it was like it was different because like we're not using items. We're not like we're just trying to regular fight. Oh shoot, I can probably do this. So I remember it was 3 of them. I think for the first one, I got like 4th or 3rd place. The second one, I got like 3rd place. And then the last one I went to, I got 2nd place, right? And it's like the dude who was winning, he'll be doing some stuff, and you be like, "Yo, what the? This dude's pretty good. I wonder if I can beat him." And then when we got to the 3rd game, I kind of got it close. I think because he like slept on me or whatever, like underestimated me. And then after that, he's like, "Yo, do you go to tournaments?" I'm like, "What is tournaments?" So it was so crazy. From that, his name was Oh No, by the way. Find what tournaments was, and I really didn't know about this till he told me about it. So I made an account, and I was just finding out a whole bunch of tournaments around the way. And he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna go to Richmond. Me and a few guys. You definitely should come." And that kind of was like my introduction into it, as far as like the tournament scene. Like thinking I was good and getting to the spot and like, hey, you're not good. You're not good at all. Even though I was bad, I was pretty good for the character that I used. So I guess maybe I got a little bit of respect for that. From moving from Virginia to New York to going to Buffalo, I would just always use Smash Bros to find tournaments. And then when I find these tournaments, obviously from training with the other people from where I was previously, it'll be like, "Oh man, this guy's pretty good. Let me help you get better, help you get better." And then so I'm just meeting better people, and they're helping me get better to the point where it's like, okay, I'm really good now. I'm like actually winning tournaments now, or I'm like placing the money. I didn't understand like you can get paid if you like place high enough. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm really enjoying this, because not only you find something that you love to do, but then you're getting paid doing it. And of course, the goal of life is find something you love to do and to get paid doing it. I found that so I was in Southern Virginia at this time, and I found out that there was a big tournament in Richmond. So I would just go there, like, let me go here first and make sure, these guys are cool or whatever. And so I go there. I went there like for the first time. I went by myself, played some of the guys, placed decently high. And I was like, "Yo, who are you? Where you come from?" I was like, "Yo, I'm from Southern Virginia." He's like, "There's a scene out there?" And then from there, I introduced, I was like, "Yo, y'all should come to Richmond with me on Sundays, whatever. And then so we start traveling as a group, going out there to play some of the people in Richmond. You start to realize, okay, there's a big tournament in Richmond. There's a bigger tournament in Maryland. So you kind of just connect. There's a really large tournament in Florida. Carpool together and go. So it's like you start to really find like camaraderie in it when you're doing it for a long period of time. Where it's like, I can go to this region or this area and beat everybody there and get paid super high, or I can stay in this harder region and get better at the game and maybe get better looks from like sponsors and different leagues and things along those lines. So this is going on, and like I said, I'm just decent at the game. Like I'm just like, I can beat some people, but it's like the one people that I cannot beat. Like it's just, I cannot defeat them. You know what I mean? So when you're in Virginia, or when I was in Virginia, I would just go train with these people. Like, "Yo, can I train with you?" You know what I mean? Like I want to get better at the game, really love the game. Because you get to the point where it's like everyone is getting so much better around you. And at that time I was going through whatever issues I was going through. So I took like breaks from the game here and there. So it's like, it's one of those, it's like for Melee and for different games within the Smash series, if you're not staying constantly trained up, if you leave and just try to come back, "Oh, I'll just use the skills that I have already," you're going to be getting washed up. You know what I mean? So when I realized that I was taking time off, that's when I was like, "Yo, can we train together? Can I do this together?" You know what I mean? And then from there, for me, I say my big moment in the game, and this is like my, Odell Beckham catch he did against the boys and everything. Like, he's one of the best receivers. So I had a really big moment with the game where I did this crazy combo, and it just like got super, like everyone, like all blogs and vlogs, whatever, like were added into their clip, to the point where I got kind of popular from that, really kind of video game famous, because it's different worlds. Like, I don't know who the most famous rock and roll person is. I don't know who the most famous whatever is. You might not know who the best video game player in Smash is, but in my world, he's like the best person. Like I want to train with him, I want to pick his brain, whatever the case is, right? So after my big moment when I really got started to get put on, and you get kind of like, I guess, video game fame, where it's like people not only want to play you, they want to literally get your autograph, they want to take pictures with you, they want to like ask you questions all the time, like how do you do this, how do you feel about this, how do you feel, you know what I'm saying, just to ask you, just like become pretty much popular in the video game world. And that's something that's gonna go into a later segment into this, because sometimes that can get to people's brains and they don't know how to handle it, and they feel like they can do whatever they want to do because they have some type of popularity. But it's called a top player, like a top player privilege. So from there, honestly, from there though, I was like on cloud nine. You couldn't really tell me much, because then from there, I actually got signed with a team, just a little local team, but they would like pay for me to go to Florida, pay for me to go to California, things along those lines. Had my little own team jersey and stuff like that. To the point where it was like the other people in Southern Virginia that we used to train with a lot, like they started well, one person in particular started getting picked up. Like, no, actually, there's a few of us that started getting picked up from different teams, and you start to see, oh, what are they doing for you? Are they paying like this? You know, you start to understand, like, you not only get picked up from teams, but then when you find a strong knit group like myself, I found a really, really strong knit group in Southern Virginia, where to the point where it's like I met their parents, and like we would just, train together. I would come over almost like every day, and we would play the game together. And then if it was big events in Richmond or in Maryland or in North Carolina, whatever, they wouldn't mind, like, they can just ride with me up there, you know what I mean? To go, because you got to think, it is a video game. So you might have like, 26-year-old in the car, you might have a 14-year-old in the cars, 18-year-old, you have different age groups driving with you, and you want to meet their parents, and they want to have the trust in you, like to the point where when you're traveling far, obviously you're doing rooms and stuff like that, so you do like tournament rituals. So tournament rituals is like, even if you're going on like your road trip, like for myself, it always would be what's those little thing of fruits, and I would do like I do a thing of fruit, an energy drink, and I had like a beef jerky, or no, it was the fruit case, like a fruit basket type of thing, an energy drink, and I would do like bread with cream cheese. This is like Wawa. I know Wawa is not everywhere, but yeah. So that was my ritual. Even like before the tournament, I was certain things I couldn't eat. Day of the tournament is like a certain like routine I did, like washing my face and stuff like that. Even with my bag, there's like certain things that has to be in the bag, as far as like gum, deodorant. Always gotta have like a stick of gum in like this pocket up here to make sure. Like, it's rituals for tournaments is a real thing. It's like when you're watching your favorite sports team or something along those lines, and you're like, this is my ritual, like my team gotta win. You do certain rituals with your homies, even where it's be something like after the tournament, we do like a tournament report. From just doing all that, from out of high school and everything like that, like I really found people, call my brothers, you know what I mean? Like close to them to this day, like that is my family right there. And I think that's something that slept on with the gamer world in general, just video game world in general. Like, you might just be at home or something like that, and you're playing the game in your room, and your parents like, "Yo, go outside," and da 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 da. You definitely want to stay active, stay fit, and it's up to the gamer or the person playing to make sure they're taking care of their body and eating right. But even if you want to take it like to a new level, like when you have your girlfriend or something like that, and you're like always gaming and stuff like that, well, you set out time to do things with them. But at the end of the day, when they're like, okay, where's my son, where's my boyfriend, where's my whatever, you know where I'm at. I'm right there in the room playing the game. So I'm not getting into trouble, I'm not doing anything mischievous. You know what I mean? I'm gaming, I'm in the room, I'm home. That's something that I think is like, sometimes you might, even for people like listen to this, like, yeah, all my boyfriend does is play the game or whatever, but he's right there at home playing the game. You know exactly where he's at. And for ourselves, like, we not only were we just playing the games, but then when our names got big enough, then again we'll start streaming. So streaming, it can be another revenue of income. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, I was basically hanging on with the dude who was the best in the whole region. So when tournaments stopped getting shut down, they took it upon themselves to, because it's like a group of brothers, they took it upon themselves to start their own tournaments to try to keep the scene alive, because the scene was dying. Have own tournaments at their home where they're giving literally away thousands of dollars or $1,000, hundreds of dollars in different events, just to keep the spirit of the game alive. You know what I mean? From the winnings of them beating everyone, I'm gonna give back now. Didn't have to do it. Wasn't prompted. Nothing like that. So you have to really appreciate the togetherness of the gamer world. I don't care if you're, LGBTQ, gay, same thing, right? But anyway, it doesn't matter. You're a learning disorder, whatever it is. Are you good at the game? Can we play the game? Let's play it together. I don't care your race. I don't care your ethnicity. I don't care your preference. I don't care your gender. We're gamers right here. You know what I'm saying? So the togetherness of that, the camaraderie of that will forever be special, and I think something that's underrated about the gamers world. It's like you might just see someone just sitting there, oh, he's just playing the game, he's just like, that's all he does. But it's more than that. It's like a way of feeling accepted. It's a way of just talking to your friends who you might not have seen for years. Especially like I told you when I was playing back in the day, my friend moved, then we'd play online together. You know what I'm saying? So it's a way to kind of stay in touch. You don't even realize you're doing, like, yo, boot up some Call of Duty, boot up some Madden, boot up some Smash Brothers in my case. So it's like it's a way to just stay close, stay interactive, and it's dudes to this day from way back when we used to play that I talk to this day all the time. We talk about games, whatever the case may be. So it's just a way to not only just stay connected, but honestly, even with my son when he's playing like Lego game back in the day, and you got to figure out like elaborate puzzles and things like this to help him better with school. Even you can there's like dang, I forgot what system it was on, but they have like little math games and stuff like that within the game, but it comes off in a way like seems fun, like it's being interactive. So and if we want to go into like hand-eye coordination, things like that, it just teaches you so much. So the togetherness of playing video games and how it brings people together, absolutely love it. Like I said, I've met some of to this day, like my brother, like these are my brothers. This is my family. Like this is not a joke. Like I would die for these people. You know what I'm saying? And it's no exaggeration. And that kind of brings me to kind of my downfall of it. You start to realize when people get popularity from these video games, they start to get targeted sometimes by the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, me, big black guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna be as easily fooled by this. And even so, it's not even just about my skin color or anything like that. Like sometimes there's people are so wrapped up in the video game world, they don't even understand how the real world works, which means they might not know how to have a decent conversation with you without coming off awkward. They may not just have common courtesy to like give you space and stuff like this, obviously until my pre-COVID. So with that being said, sometimes there can be, intimidation things going on, manipulation things going on, or just using sex appeal or sex in general just to get what they want because, okay, they're a top player or a top, you know what I'm saying, very good at the game. And that's when, and you guys might have heard of this earlier this year, there was, for my game in particular, for Smash Bros. I know there's other games as well, but there was like a lot of allegations going on where it was like people are touching minors, people are manipulating people to like throw a match or something like that, or they're manipulating them to exclude someone to not feel accepted, or they're manipulating to where it's like they're like, I don't know what the word is, collusion or whatever it is. Like they're trying to basically create something to throw shame on this person's name, just to out them, just to get them out of the game because they're really good, or just to like defame their character. You know what I'm saying? And as I was just saying, people I would literally die for, people who I consider my family. Some of the allegations were on some of them. You know what I'm saying? And that was kind of when I took a step back from it, because it's like, yo, we used to go to these tournaments. I was with you pretty much the whole time, and even with that, people were able to like just do manipulating evil things to people who I was rolling with. Like your parents trusted me with you, and in a room we're having a great time and things along these lines, and I don't even know that people are getting affected this way, where it comes out, and when it comes out, it's like, it's like something that's been eating at them for a while, like even giving suicidal thoughts and things along those lines. And I'm like, dang, it's hurtful to me too, because you were in my care. You know what I'm saying? I consider you a brother. I consider you a best friend. And I consider y'all best friends. I consider y'all brothers, because it's more than one. So it just kind of turns you off of it for a bit. Like, dang, I don't want to be a part of this type of culture. You know what I'm saying? That's not even the type of lifestyle that I'm living. And to the point where it's like when some people get outed, like say a top player gets outed, and it's like, oh my gosh, not him, not him. It's like now you defending him. It just gets really disgusting. It gets really like nasty when you start breaking it down to its core. And the craziest part is when people get outed, like, oh, you touched a minor, or you didn't like you know did some nasty things. It's like your punishment is we're gonna ban you from the game for a year or just ban you indefinitely. And it's like if you hear that, if you just regularly hear that, I'm gonna break it down in twofold. The first fold is okay, if your livelihood is playing a video game, if someone takes that away from you, then okay, I can understand maybe that it's like it's affecting you, you know, because it's your livelihood. Your whole life is with this video game. So if you get banned indefinitely, it's like your life can feel maybe like it's over. But I just said people were touching minors and doing very nasty things, and their worst thing to happen to them is to get banned. And I'm thinking to myself as like I'm seeing these different allegations stuff pop up, and I'm seeing the punishments. I'm like, yo, do you understand? If criminal charges were placed against you, it's not just about you losing your livelihood to play a video game. You're gone for good. And you be lucky that for a lot of the ones, even for the ones that was close to me, they didn't want to press the charges. It's not my place to say what they should or shouldn't do, but constantly getting reminded of something that makes you feel uncomfortable, or can understand why it's just like I just want to leave it alone. I said what happened, and I just want to leave it there. So when you become so close to people where you always see them happy and they game with you, and they it's not just about gaming with you. They're like, you talk to them about sports, you just get to know them and you grow to love them. When something affects someone so close to you like that, it can really, really turn you off. And to be honest with me, that's why it kind of turned me off. Like I didn't know if I wanted to follow that path. I didn't know if I wanted to continue going, continue gaming and stuff like that. And like I said, it's not just about the gaming, because it goes into your content creation. It goes into like you doing reactions and stuff like that. It goes into everything that you're doing. It started from a video game of giving entertainment, and you feel like I don't want to be a part of this world anymore, because look what type of hurt that is bringing to someone that's really close to me. So that was my, I would say, lowest point of it. But then when it's like kind of, not when I want to say died over, but when it kind of like, when the victim gets more comfortable and feeling like themselves, and you can actually have regular conversations with them, and you help them go through it and cope with it. I think when they start to get the feeling back, it's kind of revitalizes it for yourself. And that's kind of where I'm currently at with it now. Like things kind of going back to normal. I'm feeling good about doing recordings. I'm feeling good about doing content. I'm feeling good about doing some streaming soon and things along those lines. Because you can really feel hurt. It's like some of my best moments. Like, okay, I said I had a big moment when I was like the super popular guy, but it's not even wasn't about me as far as my video game career. It's me watching some of my close friends do super well, like to the point where they're recognized as top 50 in the world, which is a really, really big deal. Where they're getting picked up by like sponsors, you know what I mean? Where they're like paying them salaries and things along those lines, to the point where anytime they go out, people just running up for the picture. People like, yo, play with me, like play, you know what I mean? And just watching that, I think my favorite part about my professional gaming career is the people that I chose to spend my time with. You know what I mean? I don't care if I never got popularity from that mode, or even if the people I was with never, was recognized as top 50 in the world or getting sponsors. Just going to the tournaments. Just even at the tournaments, like, you want to go to McDonald's, you want to get some food, we gonna play some Uno tonight. Like, just you don't realize how much fun you're having, because you're traveling so much, and you're doing it with people you want to be with. So like essentially going to Maryland, like a 4-hour drive, can feel like a 30-minute drive, because it's like you're with people you want to be with, and it just makes it so much exciting. It's like watching your kids, or in my case your brother or whatever, entering a sport, and you cheering for them on, to the point where I even seen a family get closer together, because even my dudes that we go to the tournaments with, their parents were coming, that we'd be watching together. Then me and the brothers be watching, and then the fans now is watching. So it's just like you start to really build like a bond that's so unbreakable that it just becomes a part of your regular life. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it now. I'm comfortable playing the game again, but it's not just about the game. Like I said, creating content, to the point for myself, I'm working on actually writing a kind of a fantasy fiction book. Stay tuned for that. But that's like a story of my life, but in a fantasy fiction world. Gaming changed my life for the better. You know what I mean? And then we can do that big debate: is esports a sport? Is gaming a sport? Listen, going through the mental and things, I was one time was sweating so hard just from like in a match. Like, listen, your hands can shake. Like, I feel like it is a sport, but that's a topic for another day. In conclusion, for my professional gaming blog here, I want to say the best part about it is not just the games that you're doing, but having that camaraderie of being with people who actually love the game as much as you, and traveling and looking forward to it is really what makes it something super special. Sometimes you can't control how people really feel, like outsiders and things along those lines. You don't know if their intentions are good or bad, but you can't let that deter or ruin the fun that you're having with the people you're with. Only thing you can do is try to protect them and try to protect yourself and stay together as a unit to really just have fun while you're doing it. Like I said before, find what you love to do, find a way to get paid doing it, but that is tenfold when you find a way to do that with friends as well. Genuine, real life brothers, friends, whatever. So, yeah, that's my story of a professional gamer. As you guys can see, every Sunday I'm pretty much going to be giving you a different vlog. So if you're enjoying these vlogs, definitely hit that like button. What was your favorite game growing up? Like, it's so funny to me. Every time I give myself a favorite game list, I never add Smash Brothers in it, but I spend my most time playing that because it's like it gets to a point sometimes, like when you in the middle of it, it's like, is this a game or is this just like my livelihood? You forget to enjoy it when you're like going to tournaments. But I'm glad I'm at to the point where I can not only compete, but I can have fun while doing it. And that's really the best feeling to have, to be honest with you. So in the comment section, tell me you guys your favorite game when you was growing up, or something that you would have potentially liked to try to be professional at, or if you were. I got to the point where people knew me in Dubai, like it was getting crazy. And then for myself, like I said, I just always been an integrity guy, and this is why I think people kind of drawn to me because, hey, I'm decent at the game, but guess what? We're gonna have fun playing it, and I'm gonna learn about you, and now I want to see your exploits, and now it's just a bigger family. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. All right. So with that being said, appreciate you guys for listening, and until our next vlog, I'm Reggie Sova, and I'm out. If you like that video and want to see more videos, click here. You want to support your boy, follow my dream, make sure to subscribe here. Also leave that thumbs up below. And in the meantime, I'm Reggie Sova.